Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. We light it up blue for Autism Awareness and Autism Acceptance Month, both acceptable to stay in the month of April. And an organization that's one of the biggest in the world is Autism Speaks. That's the first one that my husband and I went to when we got the diagnosis, and maybe you did too. So with me today, Clayton Huff, the chairman of the Atlanta Leadership Committee at Autism Speaks. Hi, Clayton. How you doing?
Doing well, Gina. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's so nice to be with you today. You know, during Autism Awareness Month, Acceptance Month, it kind of changed over the past few years because I think everybody's aware of autism, but now it's time to accept it, right?
That's right.
I know that there's been a few changes over at Autism Speaks. Who's the who there now?
So who's the who? Well, we still have Keith Wargo leading. He's at the helm of the ship, leading everything, and he's going in and talking with Congress and going and working with our larger partners and really trying to push some of the research, some of the new messaging, a lot of the advocacy for our service providers and that type. Those type of people.
Who's boots on the ground? Who's the director here now in Atlanta?
Yeah, so we have Colleen Clages, who's actually VP here in Atlanta. And she's with Autism Speaks. And so I guess what I'm doing, the feet on the street, as far as the volunteers goes, I'm the chairman of the Executive Leadership Committee. And that's a group of professionals in Atlanta who are all volunteering their time and trying to, spread the word of Autism Speaks, push the missions, and really make things happen. Me and my co-chair partner, Benjamin Sheffield, awesome guy. We got together. We both have sons on the spectrum and, been working with Autism Speaks for a while. We said, we've got to crank it up a notch. And so he's really all about building the community, working with some of the sports teams here in Atlanta, along with some of the other vendors out there and in places, activities like Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, for instance. And we're trying to build partnerships, create more activities, Autism Speaks nights, so that the families, with autism can go and commune together and enjoy activities, and it'll be sensory friendly type stuff, and then what I'm doing, he's kind of driving that stuff. What I'm doing is kind of working on that, the transition to adulthood. My son, he's 12 years old. He's profound autistic. And so I've got about eight years to put something together. And I really see the need, three major things. It's the further education to learn a trade, what they want to do. And then it's getting these companies to hire and then having housing. So what we're really focused on right now is bridging the education piece with the workplace inclusion so that we can hire more folks on the spectrum. And I'm finding a lot of colleges dedicated to special needs and folks on the spectrum, just phenomenal programs. So we're working with their curriculums, seeing where, most of these individuals are focusing on, and then trying to find, companies in those spaces that'll do internships and co-ops, and then ultimately, hire a full-time position. There's so much ROI that can be made with, hiring folks on the spectrum. As you're aware, I've seen on your website.
With your key focuses right here in Atlanta for workforce and housing and inclusion, what kinds of things are you doing to kind of fundraise or get that word out there?
Sure. So we have housing's going to come a little later. Right now, the focus is really the workplace inclusion. And so we've got training materials that Autism Speaks has come up with, official training materials. So we're reaching out to companies. We're starting to have, introduction meetings, starting to push the win piece. They're starting to do the trainings. The trainings are for the hiring managers, the employees, as well as for autistic individuals who are trying to get hired. So starting with the trainings, then we bring in the Autism Speaks WIN team, and they go in and really kind of go into detail with the HR teams and everyone else at the company who's involved with that. So we're kind of starting those connections and then getting Autism Speaks in there and really pushing these companies and just trying to build out our list.
How many people are on your particular committee, Clayton?
So right now we have 10 individuals, both neurodiverse and neurotypical.
I was just going to say, are any neuro spicy for us?
Oh, they're spicy and they're phenomenal. And the two neuro spicy girls, they're actually on the WIN committee, and they have some trouble at times finding jobs. So having their perspective is just so phenomenal. It really helps us gear our presentations and our what we're going to say in the meetings. So I've loved working with them and getting their perspective on life.
With me today, Clayton Huff. He's the chairman of the Atlanta Leadership Committee of Autism Speaks. When we get back, outside of those key focuses, we're going to talk about all of the fundraising, the walks, and what we can expect at the upcoming Empowering Summits coming up with Autism Speaks. Stay with me.
Don's Tree Service is awesome.
Love Don's Tree Service. They've come out for a giant oak tree removal, another for some debris removal.
One thing I really appreciated about Don's Tree Service, they come, they take those trees down, and they take everything away.
For a free estimate, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-TREE, or find them online at donstree.com.
At Jerem & Associates, we're not only attorneys, but we're special needs parents, too.
From special needs trusts, wills, powers of attorney, guardianship, and appealing denials of Katie Beckett and now comp waivers. We're here to help.
Protecting special needs families is our mission. Reach out to us at jlaw.com.
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, Clayton Huff. Your title is quite long. You're the chairman of the Atlanta Leadership Committee of Autism Speaks. Do you have to use the front and back side with that?
Yes. It's quite a mouthful, Gina.
Now, I know that the big Autism Speaks walk is coming up when?
It should be in September this year in Atlanta.
September again at the Battery. I think that we've been having it at the Battery year after year, right?
We have been having it at the Battery. However, I think we're going to switch locations.
Oh.
And we're going to try to make it longer and easier for people to access, and just a bigger event this year. We've got a lot of ideas and we're excited about it.
I can't wait to hear when that new walk comes ahead. And now coming closer is the Empower Summit. Now, this year, Atlanta was not one of the cities that the Empower Summit's going to be in. Care to share what this Empower Summit is all about with Autism Speaks?
Yeah, sure. So yes, the Empower Summit, it's a much larger event than we've typically done in the past. And so Autism Speaks is slowly rolling it out, and I guess going to try to improve, use a smaller test case and then improve over time. And Atlanta, I believe, slated for 2027. So what the summit is, typically we do a gala where we get sponsorships and we raise money to go towards the programs and research and all that good stuff. And then that's usually in April for Autism Awareness Month. Then in September, we'll do a walk where we also raise money for everything we do. And so the summit, the idea of the summit is we're going to kind of combine those. So it's going to become one major event. And instead of doing like a walk, we find that a lot of people are really enjoying like the endurance races. So we're going to do, some sort of running race. I don't know if it's a 10K or half marathon or marathon. And then we'll do like a biking race.
Oh,
so,
cool.
We'll have something for the bikers, something for the runners. And then we're going to have a big summit where we get all the companies who are doing the workplace inclusion, the further education, get all these folks together and have a summit to start really brainstorming and pushing the mission further.
Well, I just love that. And, when I had every year during Autism Awareness Month, I bring Autism Speaks on, certainly one of the most notable organizations on the planet for research and development and tools that people can access really just with a click of a button. And about last 5 years or so ago, the art team came into place, the autism response team. How is the art team doing?
Oh, they're doing great. You go to our website and you can see how many responses we've reached out to. If anyone watching this video, if you have any questions, I remember when we first came into this world, it was fairly dark. Then you start making connections. You find out you're not the only one. You build community. Well, a lot of that is taken care of on our website, autismspeaks.org. There's everything from, doctors we recommend to, stuff on how to get Medicaid, Katie Beckett deeming waiver, help on that.
Sure.
All the way to what happens if, you see these symptoms. So the autism response team is just basically, a team you can call out and get answers to pretty much any questions.
I love that. With more and more diagnoses coming our way, and every day, it used to be 1 in 44. Now it's 1 in 31. I'm sure next year it might change to a different number. The fact that there's somebody on the other end ready and willing and able to pick up the phone and kind of direct you, because it is that first initial diagnosis, and to swallow that pill, you're overwhelmed. And then with all the information out there, that can be overwhelming too. So it's nice to kind of plug in, kind of like the show. You plug into what you need when you need it, right?
That's right. That's right. And that's what our ELC really is focusing on, is building community and making sure our community knows all this stuff exists. I mean, God bless you for doing all your videos. I love watching them, especially the ones with Temple Grandin, since I'm reading her book right now.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, but, you're spreading the word. This stuff exists. There is a lot at our fingertips. And for the people starting out, there's a lot of resources. There's a lot of activities to do. I remember when we started out, we took my son, who's very profound sensory, the Georgia Aquarium. Every once in a while, they'll open it up a couple hours before the mass public, and they'll let the autistic folks come in, and it's very sensory friendly, low lit. It's great. All that stuff exists, and we want to make sure everyone knows about it. So thank you for everything you're doing, Gina, to help spread the word.
Oh, and everything that Autism Speaks does. I know that was the very first website my husband and I went to when we got the diagnosis. So, Clayton, you're on board with a great team there. Okay, what's that website where people can reach out to Autism Speaks?
So it's autismspeaks.org, or if you're wanting the autism response team, there's a good search tool on autismspeaks.org.
Yeah, that's a great website. And again, a lot of information, but you can kind of pick and choose what you want when you want it. Clayton, thank you so much for being on the show.
Gina, it was just a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And again, God bless you for all you're doing here.
I cannot wait for the Empower Summit and Challenge to come here to Atlanta. Now, this year, it's in 5 other major cities, but it will be here in Atlanta, slated for 2027. And in the meantime, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about what doctor to go to, who's doing what, the research programs that are out there, autismspeaks.org does a really great job of breaking it down and having it, like I said, kind of like the show, plugging into what you and your family need at that moment. So check them out again at autismspeaks.org. You can actually put in the search bar Clayton Huff there and get his information as well, or you can find him on LinkedIn too, Clayton Huff, because he's always looking for people to join the Autism Speaks committee. Thanks again for checking out Life at the Spectrum.
Bye.